Hello and welcome. Let's continue the discussion on previous year questions of prelims exams through core concepts. We are on to the chapter of Planning Commission and NITI Aayog, and we are discussing the question which came in the year 2015. Look, the question is a very straightforward question. Very straightforward question. We hardly get these type of questions in the prelims exam nowadays. If someone had read newspaper in those times, even seen newspaper in those times, he would be easily able to answer the question. The question is, the government of India has established NITI Aayog to replace. Now we know it very well. NITI Aayog was set up to, replace Planning Commission. A separate question has come in the mains exam, that how are principles followed by NITI Aayog are different from principles followed by the mains exam. Principles followed by the Planning Commission. I'm really sorry. So we had a question in the mains exam. How is NITI Aayog different from Planning Commission? We will have that discussion when we discuss previous year questions of mains exam. As we are focusing only on the prelims, I would just give you a glimpse of the difference between NITI Aayog and Planning Commission. To see this, if we talk about the difference between Planning Commission and NITI Aayog, then similarity between both of them is that both of them are non-constitutional and non-statutory body. Non-constitutional, it means nothing is mentioned in the constitution about them. There's no article in their name. We have an article for Supreme Court, for President, for CAG, Election Commission. We have articles about it. These bodies are mentioned in the constitution, but nothing has been mentioned about Planning Commission in the constitution, and same goes with NITI Aayog. It is a non-constitutional body, no mention in the constitution, and we did not even amend the constitution to add them. Then you would have seen certain bodies which are set up through acts of parliament. They are called statutory bodies. So Planning Commission, there was no act was brought to set up Planning Commission. No act was brought to set up NITI Aayog also. So NITI Aayog is also a non-statutory body. Planning Commission is also a non-statutory body. Both of them have been set up through executive resolutions. Both of them are executive bodies. If I talk about the main difference between Planning Commission and NITI Aayog, the main difference is that Planning Commission was a fund distributing agency. The center it would have its 5-year plans, and the states, they would also have their own 5-year plans, and the center would be helping the states in implementation of their 5-year plans. So the way we have Finance Commission was there earlier also. Finance Commission would decide the distribution of funds between center and the states and multiple states. We would have vertical devolution of funds and horizontal devolution of funds in case of Finance Commission. In case of Planning Commission also, the funds will be given from center to the states, and the funds will be divided among the states based on Gadgil-Mukherjee formula. Gadgil-Mukherjee formula. It would decide how the funds would be divided among the states. So basically, Planning Commission was a fund distributing agency, but NITI Aayog, it is not indulged in fund distribution. It is just a think tank for the government, think tank for the central government as well as for the state governments. If the central government has a problem, if the state governments have a problem, then NITI Aayog would bring innovative ways how those problems can be sorted out. NITI Aayog has actually focused on, I would say, competitive federalism, where it has brought indices where the states are able to compete with each other. For example, multidimensional poverty index has been brought at the national level. States compete with each other. We have a SDG index also, where the states we rank the states based on the attainment of sustainable development goals. So, and similarly, we have schemes like Digital India, Atal Innovation Mission. All these schemes or programs, the latest one, which are being brought up by NITI Aayog. So, NITI Aayog is basically a think tank. It is not a fund distribution agency. Planning Commission, it had a top-down approach. Planning Commission would be making 5-year plans for center, for the states, and those 5-year plans, they would be going downwards also. It was the assumption of Planning Commission that it knew everything. It was top-down approach. NITI Aayog, on the other hand, it has bottom-up approach, where the villages, they would have their own 5-year, the villages would make their plans. Those plans would be consolidated at the block level, from block level consolidated at the district level consolidated at the state level. So whatever is required by the villages, based on them, we are making plans, we are making action agenda, strategy document, vision document. So now we do not have 5-year plans. Instead of 5-year plans, what NITI Aayog is bringing, it's bringing 3 documents: action agenda, which is for a period of 3 years, strategy document, which is for a period of 7 years, and vision document with a period of 14 years. It's bringing these 3 documents. Whatever is mentioned in action agendas, it is actually in sync with what is mentioned in strategy document. And what is mentioned in strategy document, it is in sync with what is mentioned in vision document, so that our short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals are in sync with each other. We do not have 5-year plans now. We have these 3 documents. So we have bottom-up approach, and all these things are made considering the bottom-up approach. Then Planning Commission, it had no representation from the states. The center would be making, the Planning Commission would be making 5-year plans, but there won't be any representation from the states. The states would be coming into picture only once the Planning Commission had made the 5-year plans, and the states would be just accepting or rejecting it by being part of National Development Council. They were not part in formation of the plan. They could accept it or suggest amendments, but they won't be formatting. They won't be part of the formation. On the other hand, in NITI Aayog, we have representation of states. We have representation from Delhi and Pondicherry also. We are taking states also. The center is taking states also into consideration when we talk about the development of the country, when we talk about how do we make a chat or a plan for the development of the country. So basically NITI Aayog considers states as part of the development process. NITI Aayog, it's focusing on cooperative federalism. The center and states are coming together, but in Planning Commission there was no representation of the states. I have given you the brief, or I would say the most important differences between Planning Commission and NITI Aayog. The detailed one will be discussed when we discuss the PYQ for mains exam, as I told you earlier. But I hope you have been able to understand, you have been able to see, you have been able to answer this question, that Government of India has established NITI Aayog to replace the Planning Commission. All right. That's it for discussion of this question. We'll see again. We'll meet again. All right. Thank you.